right, everybody. In this video, I'm going to go over a subscriber question. If you guys ever email me at lancekaminsky@gmail.com, any type of questions you might have on investing, budgeting, any of that, please let me know, and I'll possibly put you on a video. I haven't been getting too many of these, so I definitely appreciate when I do get them. So, okay, if you have any questions, feel free to let me know, and I might feature you on another video like this. So in blue is what the email was. I'm leaving the name private, and black is some of my thoughts. So first said, hello, sir. First of all, I want to thank you for taking the time to read this email. Now, I love getting emails like this. This is the reason why I made my channel, to help out you, help out teachers, any other workers, come up with some type of financial plan, look at different recommendations, different stocks, some of the news that's going on there that might help in your investing decisions. So keep it coming. I came across your YouTube site and it caught my attention as I was trying to get into investing and get into it fast. I'm behind in the investing game, so I feel very regretful and even embarrassed and ashamed, but I do not know where to start investing. All right, that's a pretty common thing I've been hearing from other teachers. Some teachers don't even bother even doing anything, or they might be thinking about it, but they don't actually take action. So don't feel regretful, even embarrassed. Nothing to be embarrassed about. Being a teacher is a tough job. You do have a pension, assuming that you work enough years. And the best time to invest is yesterday, right? Second best time is today. So don't feel bad about it, okay? I'm a 40-year-old teacher that's been teaching for 12 years, now making just over $50,000. Here in Oklahoma, teacher pay is not that great. Now, I'm a 39-year-old teacher. This is going to be my 14th year. So we're pretty similar boats. Making over $50,000 in Oklahoma, depending on where in the state you are, is not necessarily that bad because the cost of living in Oklahoma is going to be quite a bit less. Down in Texas, and I'm in San Antonio, things will probably cost a little bit more. So it's all relative to what your income is. Okay? Only type of investment I have is my teacher retirement that I've set up with my public school. I believe they take out $156 per check, so I guess it gets paid twice a month, so roughly $300 a month. That's pretty standard. About 7 or 8% of your salary will typically go into your teacher retirement account. In Texas, it's a little over 8%. The state also provides a little bit as well, and your district provides as well. At least in Texas. Oklahoma is probably very similar to that. I have about $34,000 saved up with only about $2,000 to $4,000 to play with, I would say. So now, back in your previous email, you said you felt embarrassed that you haven't even started. Saving $34,000 is a very good accomplishment. You should be very proud of yourself for that. Many people may not have nearly as much as that saved up, and they might have tons of debt. So you're doing a good job. $2,000 to $4,000 to play with, I would say. And I did ask a follow-up email about that. Since I'm such an amateur at this, what would you suggest baby step one for me would be? Looking a little Dave Ramsey here. So I can set up my financial future a little better. I hope I was able to give you some information to work with. Thanks in advance, and keep up the inspiring work, peace, and blessings. Again, thank you for that email so much. This is why I'm doing this channel. I did ask a few follow-up emails, and then this is his responses, so I could get into a little bit more detail. I did ask him if he has any debt, and he said he does not have any debt, but he also does not have a house mortgage, so I assume he's renting. So I say I have $34,000 saved up because I would like to keep at least 25 to 30 grand of that and put it to a house down payment. I know I'm definitely going to need to do that to gain some equity. Yes, when you're buying a house, you're going to have to put a certain percentage of the house price down. This is actually a pretty good amount, especially for in Oklahoma, you might be doing pretty well with that. Depending on where you're looking at, you want to put in at least 10%, possibly up to 20%. Okay, so next I asked where is the savings actually is right now. Is it invested? Is it in a bank? He says it's in savings now. I also asked him, is he going to be a teacher the rest of his life, possibly get a pension there? And he says he does plan on working until 62 plus. 62 is the earliest year where he could get pension benefits. He wrote, I was thinking about a Roth IRA as well, and would love for you to help me set that up through M1 Brokerage. In the description below this video, I left the link for M1 Brokerage. If you put $100 in, you'll get $10, and I also get $10 to help fund this channel, and it's all free for you guys. So if you are interested in that, let me know. Here's some of my advice. if you're saving for a house, keep your $34,000 there. I would put about $2 to $4 grand, because he said he has that to play with, into M1 as a Roth IRA. Now, based on his numbers of about $50,000 salary with this much in down payment, he can find a house that costs about $150,000, and then you're going to put $30,000 down, so that'll be 20%. You won't need to pay your PMI in that case. PMI is private mortgage insurance, which is a fee that's on top of your mortgage. And then you have about $4,000, and that's what you can put into retirement. So looking at a mortgage calculator here, let's say he has a mortgage for a $150,000 house, and he takes $30,000 as a down payment. It's only be about a $120,000 mortgage. So the mortgage itself will be about $567 a month. He's also going to have to pay for the home insurance and also the taxes. So with that, we're looking at maybe about $800 to $900 for your mortgage payment, which I think is reasonable on a $50,000 salary. So good job on that saving and buying a house. Definitely if you're renting, if you're pretty stable in your job, if you want to stay there for a while, buying a house would be a good idea, I think, in that case. Now, in terms of his budget, let's say he has about $4,000 that he could put into his Roth IRA. I would recommend making an M1 Pi. To keep it super simple, you could go 100% in the Vanguard 2040 Target Retirement account. The reason you put it in M1 is you could change and adapt it easily as you're learning more about investing. You could put it into different accounts, maybe different index funds or individual stocks when you are prepared for that. But you'd be perfectly fine just doing all of it into your Target Retirement in the year that you want to retire. Few options that I said would be dividend growth strategies or dividend growth funds. I've done plenty of videos on dividend investing, and there'll be a playlist down below about that. The two I recommend is VYM, that's Vanguard's high yield dividend account, and SPHD, this is a monthly paying dividend account. They both pay yields over 4%, and they've both been showing dividends over time. VYM is about a 4% yield, and its last 5 years, you're 8%. SPHD is a little bit higher, almost a 6% dividend, and the growth rate's not as high. So you can kind of settle out to both. Next, you want to set up an automatic contribution, 10%, which is about $300 a month based on your salary and taxes, into M1 the day after you get paid so you don't miss it. So your checking account gets your teacher pay. Literally the next day it comes out into your Roth IRA. So you don't want to miss that money. It's just notice got paid. Next day it's gone. It's automatic dollar cost averaging as you do this throughout your life. Okay. So just based on these guidelines, if you put $300 a month in, that'll be $3,600 a year. You're not starting with anything right now. If you're 40 and you go to 62, that'll be 22 more years. I did an interest rate of 8%. You could feel free to go and change that. The target retirement account is about 7 to 8% anyway. If you do all stock market, you might be able to get about 9 or 10%. So feel free to change the numbers around on moneychimp.com. You end up with a future value of $215,615. That's a pretty good retirement to have, especially since you'll have your teacher pension. So if you're ready with your teacher pension at 62, ideally you have most of your house possibly paid for, no other debts. You could live off the teacher pension, plus take out a little bit of this each month. Now, reasonably, you could probably take out about 4% of that each month. So $215,000. Times that by 0.04. So you can take out $8,600 a year, divide that by 12, and you're looking at about $716 every month that you could take out of this account tax-free since it's a Roth IRA. That plus your pension, you should be in very good shape when you retire. Okay? So don't feel that you feel embarrassed. 22 years is plenty of time. Let's say you just bump it up to 25 years, so you're 65. This number is going to be $284,000. 284. Going to be quite a bit more. You're at $946. That went up almost $200 a month just for 3 more years of investing. Obviously, the more years you have to grow, the higher it could get. Now, this is assuming you're staying at $300 a month from now until you retire. You'll be getting some raises as a teacher. As you get down to the bottom of years of service, you usually have the higher salary. It usually goes up, hopefully, with inflation. So I didn't even put that amounts into that. If you might be more reasonable and maybe $5,000 a year. 22 years, you end up with pretty much the same amount anyway at 62. So obviously, the more you can put in, the more it's going to grow. But reasonable 10% is a good starting point to make your investing. Okay. I think you're in very good shape, honestly. You'll be able to put 20% down on a house. You could buy a pretty reasonable house, I would assume, for about $150,000, and you could start your investing journey. All of this is going to be supplementing your teacher pension, so you want to make sure that you are able to put in, because your teacher pension may not cover 100% of your expenses when you retire. So it's definitely a good idea to look at other avenues. I recommend the Roth IRA, but there's other things you could do, like buy and sell houses, put it in real estate, save it into a business, tutoring and whatnot. So those are all different avenues you could do. I hope that answered your question. And if anyone else has any questions, feel free to email me at lancekaminsky@gmail.com. Smash that like button, all that good stuff. And I'll see you guys soon.